On a snowy Christmas in a small American town, Emily Dawson, a widowed, jobless mother, struggles to make ends meet for her 6-year-old daughter, Lily. With no money for gifts, Lily begs for a new dress and shoes. Despite her hardships and despair, Emily goes on a desperate search and, through unexpected kindness and determination, manages to bring joy to her daughter. This is a heartwarming story of love, sacrifice, and the magic of Christmas. Snow began to fall over Willowbrook, a small American town where the Christmas season usually meant warmth, lights, and laughter. Every house glowed with holiday spirit. Every house except one. Inside a dim, cold apartment on Maple Street, Emily Dawson sat silently at the kitchen table, her fingers wrapped tightly around a cup of warm water. She couldn't even afford tea. The apartment heater had been broken for 3 days, and she didn't have the money to fix it. Outside, children laughed as they played in the snow. Inside, a mother tried not to cry. The clock ticked loudly. Emily stared at a stack of bills, each one stamped with red ink. Overdue, final notice. Her husband, Daniel, had died 8 months ago in a car accident on his way home from work. He had been everything: her partner, her supporter, her best friend. And now she was alone, with a 6-year-old daughter and no job. She swallowed hard. Just then, little Lily came running into the room, her curly brown hair bouncing, cheeks pink from the cold, her smile so bright it made the dim room feel alive. "Mommy, Mommy, look! It's snowing!" And at school, everyone is talking about Christmas dresses and shiny shoes. "Can I get one too?" she asked excitedly. Emily froze. Her heart tightened. Lily had no idea how hard things had become. She forced a smile, the kind only a mother could create while breaking inside. "We'll see, sweetheart," Emily whispered. But Lily wasn't done. "Teacher said we're having a Christmas party, and everyone will wear new clothes. Mommy, I don't want to be the only one without a pretty dress." Emily's throat burned. Her daughter didn't mean to hurt her. She was just a child who wanted to fit in. "What kind of dress do you want?" Emily asked softly, pretending she might buy it. Lily jumped happily. "A red one, with lace and shiny shoes. Everyone will take pictures." Emily nodded, smiling, even though her heart felt like it was tearing apart. When Lily left the room, the smile faded instantly. Emily placed her face in her hands. For the first time that month, a tear fell, then another, then another. She whispered to herself, "God, how do I tell her I can't give her Christmas?" The apartment felt colder, the world felt heavier, and Emily felt completely, utterly alone. But she didn't know that this Christmas, life was about to change. Miracles sometimes live in the smallest corners of the world, and hers was coming. The morning after the first snowfall was painfully cold. A sharp wind crept through the thin apartment windows, making the curtains sway like tired ghosts. Emily wrapped her old sweater tight around herself as she checked the kitchen cabinets. A half loaf of bread, 1 packet of oatmeal, a nearly empty jar of peanut butter, and Lily's favorite cereal box, which held barely enough for half a bowl. Emily sighed. Christmas was only 3 weeks away, and she didn't even know how to buy groceries for the next 3 days. She reached for her purse. Inside it lay $8.27, the last of her money until she found work. She stared at the bills again on the table. Rent overdue, electricity overdue, water overdue. Her bank account was at 0. Her heart felt the same. Just then, Lily walked in rubbing her sleepy eyes. "Morning, Mommy," she said, her voice soft like the snow outside. Emily quickly wiped her worry from her face and smiled. "Good morning, sweetheart. Want breakfast?" Lily nodded eagerly. She loved breakfast. It was the one time of day Emily always tried to make special. A small routine of love and a life full of hardships. Emily poured the last cereal into a bowl. Lily didn't notice it wasn't a full serving. She was too excited. "Mommy, guess what? My friend Emma said her mom bought her shiny gold shoes for Christmas, and Mia got a sparkly white dress." Emily's stomach twisted. "And can I get mine soon?" Lily asked, almost shyly. Emily sat down beside her. "Baby, dresses and shoes cost money, and right now, Mommy doesn't have much." Her expression fell instantly. But the Christmas party is soon. Teacher said everyone will take pictures. I don't want to look different." Her little voice cracked. "Please, Mommy." Emily swallowed her tears before they could escape. She cupped Lily's cheeks gently. "Listen, sweetheart, even if we don't have a new dress yet, you are already the most beautiful girl in your school. But everyone else will look special," Lily whispered, looking down at her old shoes, scuffed, worn, and too tight. Emily felt the guilt hit her like a punch. She wanted to give her daughter everything. She wanted her to feel joy, excitement, magic, the things a child should feel at Christmas. But Emily had no job, no savings, no family support, nothing except love. And love, she feared, wouldn't be enough. Later that day, after dropping Lily at school, Emily walked through the town center. Christmas decorations were everywhere. Twinkling lights, holiday displays, cheerful music filling the air. Everything felt like it belonged to someone else's world. Emily checked every store window for "Now hiring" signs. Nothing. She stepped into a grocery store and approached the manager, a tall man with kind eyes named Michael Reed. "Michael, I know I asked last week, but is there anything available, even 2 hours a day? I'll do anything." Michael sighed sadly. "I'm sorry, Emily. Corporate froze hiring until January. If it were up to me, I'd hire you today." Emily nodded, trying not to look defeated. "Thank you anyway." She stepped back out into the cold. Her fingers were numb, her heart even more so. Everywhere she looked, families were shopping for Christmas. Children laughing, parents smiling, people carrying bags filled with gifts. She felt invisible, like a ghost walking through a world full of warmth she could no longer touch. As she passed by a boutique, a beautiful red Christmas dress caught her eye, exactly the kind Lily would love. Red satin, soft lace, a tiny bow at the waist. Emily stopped. Her breath hitched. She looked at the price tag, $49.99. Her eyes stung with tears. She stepped away quickly before the reality became too painful to bear. At home, when Emily picked Lily up from school, the little girl ran to her with excitement. "Mommy, we got our Christmas list today. Look!" She handed Emily a paper with snowmen and candy canes printed on the border. Lily had written in small, careful letters, 1. Red Christmas dress. 2. Shiny shoes. 3. Hair ribbon. Emily's heart cracked a little more. She tugged on her hand. "Can we go shopping now?" Emily forced a breath. "Sweetheart, Mommy needs a little more time." But Christmas is soon," Lily whispered. "I know, baby. But "But do you promise?" Her eyes were big, hopeful, innocent. Emily's voice trembled softly. "I promise I'll try." The word try tasted bitter in her mouth. But she couldn't say no, not when her little girl looked at her like that. That night, after Lily went to sleep, Emily sat in the dark living room. She pulled her husband's old jacket close, inhaling the faint scent of him, the only thing she had left. "Daniel," she whispered, her voice cracking, "what do I do? How do I give her Christmas when I can't even keep the lights on?" No answer came, only the soft hum of the outside wind. She cried quietly until her tears dried on her cheeks, but somewhere deep in her heart, a tiny spark remained alive. She didn't know how, but she would not let her daughter wake up on Christmas morning without joy, even if she had to break herself to make it happen. Because a mother's love, even in poverty, is stronger than any winter storm. The apartment was cold again that evening. Snow had piled higher outside, and the wind rattled the windows, making a hollow, mournful sound. Emily Dawson sat on the small couch, her hands cradling a cup of lukewarm water. The steam fogged up the nearby window, where frost crept in intricate patterns across the glass. Lily was upstairs, brushing her hair in front of a cracked mirror. She hummed softly, oblivious to the worry that weighed on her mother. Emily listened to the gentle sound, and her chest tightened with a mix of love and despair. She was alone. Her husband Daniel had been gone for almost a year, taken in an accident that left Emily's world fractured. She had managed to keep the bills paid for months, but now the reality of winter, rent, and Christmas had her at the edge of hopelessness. She buried her face in her hands. I can't do this," she whispered, her voice cracking. "How do I make Christmas special for Lily when I can't even feed her properly?" Tears ran down her cheeks, falling silently onto her sweater. Emily had never let Lily see her cry. She couldn't. She was supposed to be strong, the anchor. But tonight she allowed herself this private grief. Memories of Daniel came flooding back. His laughter, the way he'd brush Lily's hair every morning, the way he'd always leave her a note in the fridge. Emily had saved those notes in a small box tacked under her bed, reading them when the loneliness became unbearable. A sharp knock at the door made her jump. She wiped her cheeks and opened it to see Nancy Walker, a neighbor who always carried judgment like a badge. "Emily, dear," Nancy said, her tone both condescending and intrusive. "I saw Lily walking home from school in those shoes. Are you planning to keep her looking like that for the holiday? Every other child is dressed properly for the Christmas party." Emily's stomach twisted. "Thank you for your concern, Nancy," she said tightly, keeping her voice steady. "We'll manage." Nancy smirked and left, clicking the door behind her. Emily closed the door and leaned against it, exhaling slowly. Outside, the snow fell harder, coating everything in white. Lily appeared at the top of the stairs, rubbing her eyes. "Mommy?" she said softly, sensing her mother's tension. "Are you okay?" Emily forced a smile. "Yes, sweetheart, Mommy's okay." But inside, she felt like the walls were closing in. She had no money, no prospects, no way to fulfill the innocent wish of her little girl. She felt the crushing weight of her responsibilities pressing down, threatening to break her spirit. That night, after tucking Lily into bed, Emily sat by the window. She watched her daughter sleep peacefully, cheeks flushed from the heater's warmth. Lily's small hand clutched a worn doll. Emily whispered a silent prayer. "God, please help me. Please let her give Christmas. I'll do anything. I don't care what it takes. Just let her be happy. Please." She stayed there for hours.
listening to the wind outside, thinking of every Christmas past with Daniel, wondering how she would survive the holiday alone. Then, just as she was about to give in to despair, she remembered the words her husband had often said. "Emily, love is stronger than anything. Even when we don't have money or gifts, love will carry us through." She took a deep breath and straightened her back. Her resolve hardened. "Yes," she whispered to herself. "I don't have money, I don't have a job, but I have Lily, and I will make this Christmas the most beautiful one she has ever had." For the first time that night, Emily smiled. Not the forced smile she had shown Lily earlier, but a real, determined smile. The snow continued to fall outside, silent and pure, and inside the tiny apartment, a spark of hope flickered, faint but steady, like the first light of dawn. She didn't know how she would do it yet, but she knew one thing for certain. She would not let Lily wake up on Christmas morning without joy. Her heart, battered and weary, was ready to fight, and somewhere deep inside, she felt that Christmas miracles could still happen, even for those who had nothing left but love.
The following morning, the apartment smelled faintly of oatmeal and melted snow tracked in from outside. Emily sat at the small kitchen table, sipping a cup of coffee she couldn't fully taste. The steam from the mug curled into the cold air, fading quickly like her fleeting hope. Lily bounced down the stairs, her excitement barely contained. In her tiny hands, she held a sheet of paper decorated with snowflakes and candy canes, her Christmas list. "Mommy, Mommy, look!" Lily exclaimed, practically vibrating with joy. "I made my list today at school." Emily forced a bright smile, reaching for the paper. Her heart clenched at the sight of her daughter's careful handwriting and the little drawings in the margins, stars, hearts, and tiny gifts. Lily began reading. 1. A red Christmas dress with lace. 2. Shiny shoes. 3. A hair ribbon to match the dress. 4. A doll like my friend Emma's. 5. Chocolate. Emily's throat tightened. She put her hand gently on Lily's shoulder. "Sweetheart, this list is very beautiful. You put a lot of thought into it." Lily's eyes sparkled with hope. "So you can get these for me, right, Mommy?" Emily felt her chest squeeze painfully. She shook her head, trying to hide the despair threatening to surface. "Baby, Mommy's trying her best, but Christmas is soon, and we have to be careful with our money," she said gently. Lily's small face fell. But everyone at school will have these things. I don't want to be the only one without a pretty dress or shoes." Emily swallowed her tears. She wanted so badly to tell her daughter the truth, that she had less than $9 in the world, that she had no job and no way to buy even one item on this list. But she couldn't. Instead, she hugged Lily tightly. "I promise, sweetheart, Mommy will try. I'll do everything I can to make sure you have a special Christmas." Lily hugged back with all her small strength. "Promise?" Emily kissed the top of her daughter's curly hair. "Promise." Later that day, the struggle intensified. After school, Emily tried to stretch the remaining money to buy groceries for the week. Every purchase she made chipped away at the $8.27 she had left. The world outside the grocery store looked festive, almost mocking in its beauty. Christmas lights twinkled everywhere, carolers sang, and shoppers carried overflowing bags of gifts. Emily returned home, her arms heavy with the few groceries she could afford. Lily ran to help her, laughing and talking about the school holiday pageant. Emily smiled through exhaustion, but inside, the weight of the Christmas list pressed on her chest like a brick. She sat down and looked at the paper again, staring at the red dress and shiny shoes at the top. How could she possibly make it happen? every store in town was expensive, and every thrift store visit had yielded nothing worth buying for her daughter. The thought of disappointing Lily made Emily's chest tighten painfully. She wondered how other mothers seemed to manage effortlessly. How could she, alone, give her daughter even a fraction of what she deserved? A mother's silent determination. That evening, Emily sat by the small window in their apartment, staring at the falling snow. Her eyes followed each delicate flake as it drifted down. Somehow, each one reminded her of Lily's innocent joy, her tiny hands waving at the flakes as if she could catch them. She whispered under her breath, "I don't have money, I don't have a job, but I have love, and I will make this Christmas special, no matter what." She looked at her daughter sleeping peacefully in the next room, clutching her worn doll. Her heart ached with both sorrow and fierce determination. "This year," she said softly, "you will feel like every other child. You'll feel magical. You'll feel loved. I promise, Lily." A tear slid down her cheek, but this time it wasn't just sorrow. It was hope, a spark of courage, the tiny ember that could ignite miracles, even in the coldest winter. Chapter 4 ending, setting the stage for the miracle. That night, Emily began planning. Every second, every step, every penny mattered. She knew the path ahead would be hard, exhausting, and uncertain, but for Lily, she would walk it all. As she drifted off to sleep, she whispered a prayer. "God, show me a way. Give me a sign, a chance, anything. Let me make this Christmas special for my little girl, please." Outside, the snow continued to fall, soft and endless, covering the world in a blanket of possibility. And Emily, a mother with no money but a heart full of love, began the journey to create a Christmas her daughter would never forget. The next morning, Emily woke before the sun. The sky outside was a pale gray, and snow still carpeted the town in a soft, pristine blanket. Lily was still asleep, bundled under a thin quilt, her little hands clutching her worn doll. Emily gazed at her daughter for a long moment, her heart swelling with love and breaking all over again. She didn't have money. She didn't have a job. And yet, she promised Lily a magical Christmas. The thought felt impossible, like trying to catch the snowflakes in her hands. But a mother's determination is a powerful thing. Emily wrapped herself in her coat and scarf, pulled on her worn boots, and stepped into the cold morning air. Each step on the snow-crested sidewalk reminded her of the world outside, the world full of warmth, laughter, and everything she had lost. Her first stop was the local grocery store. Maybe they were hiring extra help for the holiday rush. Maybe she could earn enough to buy something, anything for Lily. Inside, the warmth hit her, but the festive decorations made her stomach twist. The store was full of holiday shoppers carrying overflowing bags of groceries and treats. Emily approached Michael Reed, the store manager. "Michael, any chance of temporary work? Even a few hours a day?" she asked, trying to sound hopeful. Michael shook his head, regret in his eyes. "I'm so sorry, Emily. We've hired everyone we can for the season. If anything opens up, I'll let you know immediately." Emily nodded silently. She forced a smile and stepped back outside into the cold, her breath puffing in tiny clouds. The thrift store Hope. Desperate, Emily wandered through the snow-covered streets. She passed families skating, children building snowmen, and people laughing with cups of hot chocolate in their hands. Every cheerful sight felt like a knife in her heart. Then she saw it, a small thrift store tucked between a bakery and a bookstore. Its windows were fogged with frost, but inside, a few sparkling holiday decorations hinted at treasures waiting to be found. Emily hesitated for a moment. She had almost no money, but something about the store whispered possibility. She stepped inside. The warmth was immediate.
The smell of polished wood and old fabric was comforting. Rows of gently used clothes hung neatly, and small shelves held toys and books. Emily's eyes scanned every corner, praying to find something magical for Lily. Her heart leapt when she spotted it, a red dress, delicate lace at the sleeves and hem, soft fabric that shimmered in the light. It was perfect, exactly the kind of dress Lily had imagined. Emily walked closer and looked at the price tag. $14.99. Her chest sank. She had $8.27. Not even close. She clutched the dress to her chest, feeling tears sting her eyes. How could she tell Lily she couldn't have it? How could she break her daughter's heart after promising her a special Christmas? The thrift store angel. An elderly woman behind the counter noticed Emily's distress. Her name was Grace Miller, a kind-hearted woman who ran the store with quiet generosity. "Are you okay, dear?" Grace asked gently. Emily shook her head, unable to speak. She pointed at the dress. It's for my daughter. I can't afford it," she whispered. Grace smiled softly. "Then, let me help you." Emily blinked, confused. I can't, I don't want to trouble you." Grace shook her head. "No trouble at all. It's Christmas. Every child deserves to feel special. Take it." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "But I can't pay." Grace waved her hand. "Just promise me one thing. Make your daughter's Christmas magical." Emily felt her knees weaken. She could barely speak. With trembling hands, she hugged the dress. Thank you so much," she whispered, her voice breaking. Grace patted her shoulder kindly. "Go on now. Don't let her see you cry yet. You've got a little Christmas to create." The spark of hope. Emily left the store, clutching the red dress to her chest. Snow fell softly on her coat, glittering like tiny diamonds. She felt a warmth in her heart she hadn't felt in months. She thought of Lily waking up the next morning, her eyes lighting up as she saw the dress, her small hands reaching for it, her laughter filling the apartment, and her smile brighter than any Christmas lights. Emily realized in that moment that miracles sometimes come in unexpected ways. Love, determination, and kindness could create magic even when everything seemed lost. She wrapped the dress carefully, planning how she would present it to Lily without giving away the secret. Her heart swelled with a mixture of joy, relief, and anticipation. Christmas was coming, and for the first time in a long while, Emily felt like she could make it unforgettable for her daughter.
The night before the Christmas party, Emily sat quietly in the dimly lit living room. The apartment was colder than usual, but her heart was warm with anticipation. In her hands, she held the red dress, carefully folded, the delicate lace glimmering faintly under the lamp's soft light. She imagined Lily's face, the bright, innocent eyes sparkling with excitement, the small gasp of wonder when she saw the dress. Emily smiled through tears. Months of struggle, of sleepless nights, of silent prayers had led to this moment. Lily's small voice broke through Emily's thoughts. "Mommy, can you come tuck me in?" Emily stood, smoothing the folds of the dress. She gently climbed the stairs and entered Lily's room. Her daughter sat on the bed, clutching her worn doll, eyes wide and hopeful. Emily sat beside her and stroked her hair softly. "I have a surprise for you, baby." "A surprise? What is it, Mummy?" Emily hesitated, then smiled. "Close your eyes." Lily squeezed her eyes shut, her little hands pressing against her cheeks. Emily carefully retrieved the red dress from its wrapping, holding it out in front of Lily. "Open your eyes now." Lily blinked and then gasped. Her small hands flew to her mouth. Oh, Mummy, it's beautiful."
Tears welled in Emily's eyes as Lily took the dress, fingers tracing the lace, spinning it in tiny circles. "It's perfect, Mummy. Perfect. Look, I'm going to be the prettiest girl at school." Emily hugged her tightly, holding her close. "You are already the prettiest girl, Lily. This just proves it to everyone else." Lily spun once more, then threw herself into Emily's arms. "Thank you, Mummy, thank you. I love it." Emily kissed the top of her daughter's hair. "I love you too, baby, more than anything." A small Christmas miracle. For a moment, the apartment was filled with laughter, the kind that makes every hardship fade away, if only for a little while. Emily watched Lily's joy and felt the burdens she carried melt away, replaced by something stronger: hope. She realized that the world hadn't given her this miracle. It wasn't wealth, it wasn't luck, and it wasn't a paycheck. It was love, determination, and kindness from unexpected places. Grace's generosity had made this Christmas magical. Lily ran around the room, trying on the dress, pairing it with her old shoes. Emily laughed quietly, letting the sound fill the small apartment. For the first time since Daniel's death, she felt truly happy. The red dress wasn't just a piece of clothing. It was a symbol of her love, her sacrifice, and the magic a mother could create with a heart full of hope. Preparing for the Christmas party. The next morning, Emily and Lily woke early. Lily carefully put on the red dress, smoothing the lace and tying her hair with a ribbon Emily had managed to find at a dollar store. The shiny shoes, though a little large, completed the outfit. When Lily looked in the mirror, she spun in circles, eyes sparkling with delight. "Mummy, look at me. I feel like a princess." Emily's heart swelled with pride and relief. "You are my princess, Lily, always." Before leaving for the party, Emily took a moment to look around their small apartment. The red dress on her daughter was a bright splash of color in their humble home. It reminded her that no matter how hard life got, there was always a way to make magic happen, especially when fueled by love. As they walked to school together, snowflakes dusting Lily's curls, Emily held her daughter's hand tightly. She didn't need money, she didn't need fancy gifts, and she didn't need anyone else to approve. She had given Lily something far more precious: the knowledge that she was loved and cherished, no matter what. And that Christmas, in their tiny apartment, Emily and Lily created a memory that would last a lifetime, a reminder that miracles sometimes come in small, unexpected packages, and that the love of a mother could transform even the coldest, darkest winter into a season of warmth, hope, and joy. The next day, the red dress hung neatly on a hanger in Lily's small bedroom. Its lace shimmered faintly in the morning sunlight that filtered through the frosty window. Lily had spent the night dreaming of twirling in the dress, imagining herself at the school Christmas party, and Emily's heart ached with love and determination. But one piece of the Christmas puzzle was missing: shoes. Lily's old shoes were scuffed and worn, barely holding together. She had tried to stretch them over the past months, but her feet had outgrown them long ago. Emily knew that without new shoes, the magic of the red dress would feel incomplete. She took a deep breath and opened her small wallet. $8.27 stared back at her. Not nearly enough. Emily wrapped herself in her coat and ventured out into the cold winter morning, determined to find a solution. The streets were busy with shoppers, Christmas music floating from store speakers. Every shop window glittered with shoes, boots, and holiday displays, but all were far beyond her reach. Her hands ached from the cold as she trudged through the snow. She passed a shoe store, peeking through the glass. There they were, shiny red Mary Jane shoes that would match the dress perfectly. But the price tag gleamed cruelly in the window: $29.99. Emily's heart sank. She had no idea how she could make this happen. She pressed her hands to her face, swallowing tears, feeling the familiar knot of despair in her chest. a ray of inspiration. Emily stopped at the curb, watching children skip to school in new coats and boots. She remembered her prayer from the night before. God, please help me. Please let me make my daughter's Christmas special. She thought of Grace, the kind thrift store owner who had given her the red dress. Perhaps there was another help waiting for them. Then Emily's eyes landed on a small secondhand children's store down the street. A simple sign read, "Pre-loved shoes. Every child deserves a smile." Her pulse quickened. Could this be it? The perfect pair. Inside the shop, rows of shoes in every size lined the shelves. Emily scanned them desperately, praying for a miracle. And then she saw them. A pair of gently used red Mary Jane shoes, the perfect size for Lily. The price tag read $7.50. Her hands trembled. She fumbled for her wallet. $8.27. Just enough. A tear slipped down her cheek as she whispered, "Thank you, thank you." She quickly paid the shopkeeper, a kind-looking man with a soft smile. The shoes were hers. Her daughter's Christmas was nearly complete. The surprise moment. That afternoon, Emily presented the shoes to Lily, who had no idea of her mother's efforts. "Mommy, what's this?" Lily asked, her eyes wide with curiosity. "Try them on, baby," Emily said softly. Lily slipped her feet into the shoes. They fit perfectly. She spun in a circle, giggling. "Oh, Mommy, they're perfect. They match my dress. I love them. I love them." Emily's chest tightened with emotion. She hugged Lily fiercely. "I love you, Lily. I hope you know that this Christmas is special because of you, not because of money or gifts. You make it magical." Lily's laughter filled the apartment. It was pure, innocent, and brighter than any Christmas lights outside. Emily realized something profound in that moment. Christmas wasn't about wealth, expensive gifts, or perfect circumstances. It was about love, sacrifice, and joy shared between hearts. For Lily, the red dress and shoes were more than clothing. They were a symbol of her mother's devotion and the magic a parent can create even in the hardest times. That evening, Emily tucked Lily into bed, her heart full and her spirit renewed. Outside, snow fell silently, covering the world in white, soft and peaceful. Inside, love and hope filled the small apartment, brighter than any lights or decorations. Emily whispered a final prayer. "Thank you, God, for giving me a way to make her happy. Please let her always feel this love." Lily smiled in her sleep, the red dress folded neatly on her chair, shoes by the bed. Emily kissed her forehead, feeling the warmth of a Christmas miracle she had created through determination, faith, and unconditional love. The apartment was quiet that night, except for the soft hum of the heater struggling to warm the small space. Snow had continued falling, covering Willowbrook in a glistening white blanket. Outside, the streets were empty, but inside, Emily and Lily's hearts were full. Lily had spent the entire afternoon twirling in her red dress, the new shoes clicking softly on the worn wooden floor. She had paired it with the ribbon Emily had managed to buy at the dollar store, and she looked every bit like the little princess she imagined herself to be. "Mommy," Lily whispered as she snuggled beside her mother on the couch. "This is the best Christmas ever. I love my dress, my shoes, and I love you." Emily hugged her tightly, her tears wetting Lily's hair. "I love you too, baby, more than anything in the world." The small apartment was simple, without decorations or expensive gifts, but it was filled with love, warmth, and gratitude. Emily realized that the magic of Christmas wasn't found in stores or price tags. It was in moments like this. Sharing the joy. Emily brewed a small cup of cocoa for herself and Lily, using the last of the milk she could afford. They sat by the window, watching the snowfall, sipping cocoa, and talking about the day's events. "Mommy, do you think Grace will like my dress?" Lily asked, twirling again in excitement. Emily smiled. "I think she'll love it. But you know what, Lily? The most important thing is that you're happy and safe. That's what matters." Lily nodded, understanding even at 6 years old that Christmas wasn't about gifts, but love. "I am happy, Mommy. I really am." Emily looked around her small apartment and felt a deep sense of gratitude. For the first time in months, she felt at peace. Despite the struggles, despite the emptiness, she had managed to give Lily joy, magic, and hope. A silent prayer. That night, as Lily drifted off to sleep in her red dress, Emily sat quietly by the window, staring at the softly falling snow. She whispered a prayer. "Thank you, God, for giving me the strength to make my daughter happy. Please keep her safe, keep her heart full, and remind me always that love is enough." Tears ran down her cheeks, but they were tears of relief, love, and triumph. Emily realized that her journey had not only brought happiness to Lily, but had also renewed her own spirit. She had faced despair, hopelessness, and poverty. Yet she had created a moment of beauty, a memory her daughter would carry forever. The true meaning of Christmas. Outside, the snow continued to fall, and the town sparkled under the streetlights. Inside, a small apartment glowed with a different kind of light, the light of gratitude, hope, and love. Emily held her daughter close, whispering softly, "No matter what life throws at us, we'll always have each other. And that, my baby, is the real magic of Christmas." Lily murmured sleepily, "I love you, Mommy." Emily kissed her forehead. "I love you too, Lily. Always." In that moment, Emily knew she had given her daughter more than a dress or shoes. She had given her memories, love, and the warmth of a mother's heart, a Christmas Lily would never forget. And that night, in the quiet of their small home, Emily realized that even in the hardest winters, love can create miracles. The first rays of Christmas morning sunlight crept through the frosty windows, casting a golden glow across the small apartment. Emily stirred awake, her heart fluttering with anticipation. Today was the day. Lily would see the red dress and shoes in their full glory, and the magic she had worked so hard to create would come alive. Emily tiptoed upstairs, careful not to wake her daughter too soon, but Lily's soft giggles and murmurs had already betrayed her excitement. She peeked out of her blanket, her curly hair spilling over the pillow. "Mommy, is it time?" she whispered, eyes sparkling with sleepy wonder. "Yes, baby, it's time." She handed Lily the red dress and the shiny Mary Jane shoes. Lily's small hands trembled as she held them. Her eyes widened and a gasp escaped her lips. "Oh, Mommy, it's beautiful. It's everything I dreamed of," she cried, twirling in the soft morning light. Emily's heart ached with joy and relief. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she helped Lily slip into the dress and carefully put on the shoes. "You're perfect, Lily," Emily whispered. "Absolutely perfect." The joy of small miracles. Lily spun and twirled, her laughter filling the apartment. Emily watched her, overwhelmed by the depth of love she felt. This was what Christmas was truly about. Not expensive gifts, but the magic of love, sacrifice, and shared joy. "Look, Mommy, I'm like a princess. I'm the happiest girl in the world." Emily hugged her tightly. "You are, baby, because you are loved. You are loved more than anything." They spent the morning together, sipping cocoa and watching the snow fall outside, each flake sparkling like a tiny gift from the heavens. Lily showed off her dress and shoes to her dolls, narrating stories of magical winter adventures. Emily laughed along, her heart soaring. A visit from Grace. Just as the morning light brightened the room, there was a knock at the door. Emily opened it to find Grace Miller, the kind thrift store owner who had gifted the red dress.
"Merry Christmas, Emily. Merry Christmas, Lily," Grace said warmly. Lily ran to her, holding out her tiny hands. "Thank you, Grace. Thank you for the dress. It's the best Christmas ever." Grace smiled, her eyes twinkling. "You're very welcome, dear. Remember, Christmas is about love, and I could see your mom has plenty of that." Emily's eyes filled with tears once more. The kindness of others, combined with her love, had created a moment of pure magic. Christmas spirit restored. That day, Emily and Lily walked to school, Lily proudly showing her friends the red dress and shiny shoes. She felt like she belonged, like her happiness was complete. Emily walked beside her, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. All the struggles, the sleepless nights, the worry, had been worth this single radiant moment. She realized that even in poverty, love could create joy, and even in despair, miracles could be found. As they walked home hand in hand, the snow continued to fall, wrapping the town in a blanket of peace. Emily whispered softly to herself, "This is what Christmas is. Magic made of love." Lily glanced up at her mother, her eyes full of wonder and gratitude. "Mommy, I'll never forget this Christmas. I love you so much." Emily kissed her forehead. "I love you too, baby. Always." And in that small, humble apartment, a Christmas miracle had been born, not in the glitter of store-bought gifts, but in the power of a mother's love and the kindness of others. The snow-covered streets of Willowbrook sparkled under the morning sun, smoke curled lazily from chimneys, and the distant sound of bells and laughter filled the air. Emily walked beside Lily, her daughter's red dress and shiny shoes a bright splash of color against the white winter. As they passed the local bakery, the baker, Mr. Thompson, waved warmly. "Merry Christmas, Emily! Lily, looking festive!" Lily waved back excitedly, her giggles floating in the crisp air. Emily smiled, feeling the gentle embrace of their small community. Despite her struggles, she realized they were surrounded by people who cared, who noticed, who made life a little easier with small acts of kindness. Acts of kindness everywhere. At the corner, a group of volunteers handed out hot cocoa and cookies to children heading to school. Lily ran up eagerly, grabbing a cookie. "Thank you," she said, her eyes wide. Emily smiled, touched by the generosity. It reminded her of Grace, the kind woman from the thrift store. Small acts of love, whether big or small, could create joy in ways money never could. As they continued walking, Emily noticed other families helping each other. A man shoveling snow for an elderly neighbor, a child giving their mittens to a smaller sibling, and a group of friends carrying gifts to a local shelter. Emily's heart swelled. She realized Christmas was not just about gifts, it was about connection, compassion, and community. Sharing their story. At the school, Lily proudly showed her friends the red dress and shoes, explaining how her mom had worked so hard to make Christmas magical. "Your mom is amazing," one friend said. "I wish my mom could do that." Emily smiled quietly, touched by the recognition. She realized that her struggle had a purpose. By giving Lily happiness, she was also teaching her grace, gratitude, and the importance of love. Later, as they walked home, Emily reflected on the past year, the loss of Daniel, the sleepless nights, the worry and the scarcity. And yet, here they were, safe, warm, and surrounded by a community that cared. A mother's reflection. That night, Emily tucked Lily into bed, brushing back her curls. "Did you have a wonderful day?" she asked softly. "Yes, Mommy, and I want to make others happy too, like Grace and the Cocoa people. I want to help everyone." Emily kissed her forehead, tears in her eyes. "You already are helping, Lily. By sharing your happiness and gratitude, you make the world a brighter place." For the first time in months, Emily felt the heaviness of worry lift, replaced by warmth, hope, and fulfillment. She realized that while they may not have much, they had love, community, and the spirit of Christmas. And that, she thought,
was worth more than any gift under a tree. The night sky over Willowbrook sparkled with countless stars, the cold air crisp and still. Snow lay thick on rooftops and streets, and a faint glow from Christmas lights filled the town with warmth. Inside their small apartment, Emily sat by the window, gazing at the falling snow. The red dress and shiny shoes were neatly placed on Lily's chair, ready for the big day tomorrow. Lily had long since fallen asleep, exhausted from the excitement and joy of the day. Emily's heart was full, but her mind was quiet, reflecting on the year past. It had been the hardest year of her life. The loss of Daniel had left an emptiness she had feared she could never fill. Bills, rent, and the struggle to survive had threatened to break her, and yet here she was, holding on to hope, love, and the small miracles that had kept her going. A silent reflection. Emily whispered softly, her voice almost lost in the stillness of the night. God, thank you for giving me strength when I felt I had none. Thank you for Lily, for the love she gives, for the hope she inspires. Thank you for grace, for the kindness of strangers, and for reminding me that miracles exist even in the darkest times. Tears streamed down her face, warm and healing. She thought of Daniel, his laugh, his gentle hands, the notes he used to leave on the fridge. She felt his presence in the quiet, in the soft winter breeze brushing against the window, as if he were telling her she had done well. Emily clasped her hands together. Tomorrow, let it be magical for Lily. Let her feel the joy and wonder that every child deserves, and let me always remember that love is stronger than any hardship. Gratitude for the small things. As she sat there, Emily reflected on all the moments that had brought them to this point. The small thrift store miracles that made Lily's Christmas outfit possible. The smiles and generosity of strangers that reminded her of humanity's warmth. The simple joy in Lily's eyes made every sacrifice worthwhile. She realized that happiness wasn't about having everything, it was about treasuring what you do have and using it to create love and joy for others. Emily felt a deep sense of peace. For the first time in months, she slept without worry gnawing at her heart. Preparing for the morning. As the clock ticked closer to midnight, Emily quietly stood, straightening the red dress and shoes one last time. She placed a small handwritten note beside them. For my little princess, with all my love, Mommy. She smiled, knowing that when Lily woke, her heart would be full. Finally, Emily whispered one last prayer, closing her eyes. Thank you, God, for this Christmas. Thank you for showing me that love, hope, and kindness can create miracles. Please continue to guide us always. Outside, the snow fell softly, as if in agreement. Inside, the apartment glowed with quiet warmth. Emily's heart was ready for the magic of Christmas morning, the culmination of love, sacrifice, and the pure joy she had worked so hard to give her daughter. The first light of Christmas morning crept softly through the frosty windows, bathing the small apartment in a gentle golden glow. Emily stirred from her sleep, her heart pounding with anticipation. Today was the day. Lily would experience the full magic of Christmas. She tiptoed upstairs, careful not to wake her daughter too soon. But Lily's small voice called softly, "Mommy, is it morning?" Emily smiled, brushing her hand over Lily's curls. "Yes, baby, it's Christmas morning." Lily's eyes sparkled as she jumped out of bed. Emily handed her the red dress and shoes. Lily gasped, her small hands trembling as she took them. "Oh, Mommy, it's perfect! It's everything I dreamed of!" she exclaimed, spinning around. Tears welled up in Emily's eyes. All the struggle, the sleepless nights, the worry, it had all led to this single, radiant moment. a moment of pure joy. Lily slipped into the dress, her laughter echoing through the apartment. She put on the shiny Mary Jean shoes, twirling and spinning with delight. "Look at me, Mommy. I feel like a princess. I'm the happiest girl in the world." Emily held her close, kissing her forehead. "You are, baby. The happiest girl in the world, because you are loved. That's what makes this Christmas magical." The apartment, humble and simple, was now filled with warmth, laughter, and the glow of love and gratitude. Grace's special visit. Just as the morning sun brightened the room, there was a knock at the door. Emily opened it to find Grace, the kind thrift store owner who had gifted the red dress. "Merry Christmas, Emily! Merry Christmas, Lily!" Grace said warmly. Lily ran to her, hugging her tightly. "Thank you, Grace. Thank you for the dress. It's the best Christmas ever." Grace smiled. "You are very welcome, Lily. Remember, Christmas is about love, and your mom has more than enough of that." Emily felt tears of gratitude stream down her cheeks. The kindness of others combined with her love had created this true Christmas miracle. The true meaning of Christmas. Emily realized that Christmas wasn't about expensive gifts or perfect circumstances. It was about love, sacrifice, and joy shared between hearts. The red dress and shiny shoes were symbols of her devotion, but the real magic was in Lily's laughter, innocence, and happiness. They spent the morning together, sipping cocoa, playing in the snow outside, and savoring every second of their perfect Christmas day. Emily knew that the memory of this morning, the joy, the magic, the love, would stay with Lily forever. And in that small apartment, a simple yet profound truth shone brightly. Miracles are born from love, hope, and kindness, even in the darkest times. A mother's heart fulfilled. As the day ended and Lily lay asleep, her red dress and shiny shoes still glowing softly in the corner, Emily whispered a silent prayer. "Thank you, God, for this miracle. Thank you for showing me that love is stronger than hardship and that a mother's heart can create magic." Tears of joy streamed down her cheeks as she held her daughter close. Emily knew that despite all challenges, they had found the true spirit of Christmas. And as the snow continued to fall outside, the small apartment glowed, not with decorations or gifts, but with the warmth of a mother's love and the magic of hope realized. The Christmas sun rose slowly over Willowbrook, casting a warm glow across the snowy streets. Inside their small apartment, Emily sat in the quiet morning, holding a steaming cup of cocoa, her gaze resting on Lily, who slept peacefully in her red dress. It had been a day filled with laughter, wonder, and magic, the kind of magic money could never buy. Emily reflected on the journey that had led them here, the months of hardship, sleepless nights, the worry of bills, and the ache of Daniel's absence. Through it all, she had discovered something profound. Love was stronger than any obstacle. Lessons learned. Emily thought about everything she had learned over the past year. Resilience. No matter how difficult life became, she found a way to keep moving forward. Sacrifice. Every small choice she made, every effort, was worth it for Lily's happiness. Community. The kindness of strangers like Grace and the volunteers at the cocoa stand reminded her that humanity could shine even in hardship. Hope. Even when the world seemed cold and unforgiving, hope could light the darkest path. She realized that these lessons were far more valuable than any gift or decoration. They were the foundation of a life filled with love and meaning. A mother's gratitude. Emily leaned back, closing her eyes, and whispered a silent prayer of gratitude. "Thank you, God, for showing me that even in the hardest times, love and kindness can create miracles. Thank you for my daughter, for the joy she brings and for the strength to make her happy. Please help me always to nurture this love and never lose hope." Tears streamed down her cheeks, but they were tears of joy and fulfillment, not sorrow. She felt at peace, knowing that she had given Lily more than gifts. She had given her a Christmas filled with love, wonder, and hope. Looking toward the future, Emily gazed out the window at the falling snow, imagining the years ahead. She knew there would be challenges, hardships, and moments of doubt. But she also knew one unshakable truth. As long as she and Lily had each other, they could face anything. Her heart swelled with hope and determination. She promised herself that she would continue to create magic in Lily's life, not through money or possessions, but through love, attention, and the beauty of shared moments. Lily stirred in her sleep, murmuring softly, "Mommy, I love you." Emily kissed her forehead gently. "I love you too, baby. Always." And in that quiet, snow-covered apartment, Emily realized that the true miracle of Christmas is love. A love that endures, heals, and creates joy against all odds.
The snow continued to blanket Willowbrook, soft and sparkling, as the Christmas morning slowly unfolded. Emily watched Lily play with her dolls, the red dress twirling with each movement, the shiny shoes catching the light. The apartment was quiet, but full of warmth, laughter, and the kind of magic only love could create. Emily sat back on the couch, her hands folded over her heart, reflecting on everything that had led to this moment, the struggles, the sleepless nights, the tears, the worry. It had all been worth it. She realized that even in the absence of material wealth, a mother's love could make every Christmas unforgettable. The promise. Emily knelt beside Lily, brushing a stray curl from her daughter's face. "Lily," she whispered softly, "do you know what makes Christmas special?" "The presents?" she guessed. Emily smiled, shaking her head gently. "No, baby. It's love. The time we spend together, the care we give, and the memories we make. That is the magic of Christmas." Lily nodded thoughtfully, hugging her mother tightly. Emily hugged her back, feeling the warmth spread through her chest. "And I promise you, Lily, every Christmas, no matter what happens, I will make sure you feel this love, this magic, this happiness, always." Lily giggled, snuggling closer. "I love you, Mommy. You make everything perfect." Emily kissed her forehead, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. "I love you too, baby, always and forever." A lasting miracle. The day continued with small joys, cocoa, laughter, and stories by the window as snowflakes fell silently outside. Emily realized that miracles weren't always grand or expensive. They were small, heartfelt moments of love and connection. Grace's kindness, the secondhand store shoes, the red dress, all had combined to create a magical Christmas. But the true miracle was the bond between mother and daughter, stronger than any hardship or loss. Emily knew that no matter what the future held, struggles, uncertainties, or hardships, she and Lily had a foundation of love, hope, and shared memories that could never be taken away. The spirit of Christmas lives on. As night fell, the apartment glowed softly with warmth and contentment. Lily drifted to sleep, dreaming of twirling in her red dress, while Emily sat quietly, holding her hands over her heart and whispering a final prayer. "Thank you, God, for this Christmas, for this love, for this life. Let every Christmas be filled with hope, kindness, and magic like today. And let our hearts always remember that love is the true miracle." Outside, snow fell gently, blanketing the town in peace. Inside, Emily felt a warmth that no winter chill could touch. The promise had been made, the miracle lived, and the spirit of Christmas had found a home in a small apartment in the heart of a mother and her daughter.